Hi, friends. Welcome to this week's astrology breakdown. I want to say thank you guys so much for your patience as I got sick last week and I wasn't able to film last week's weekly breakdown, which I was so sad about. But I'm back and I'm here to tell you guys everything you need to know about the week ahead in full detail. I'm not crazy about this week, to be honest. There's a lot of discomfort, but the good news is that by the end of the week, by the end of this week, you'll have a clear definition as to what self-care looks like for you. And it's going to come from a little bit of, like I said, discomfort that we feel throughout the whole week, but that's good because, I like to bring purpose to everything that's uncomfortable because I'm somebody who asks why. Like, okay, I'm going to go through this, but why? So hopefully you guys will get this today, this week. Um and I do want to take a moment to talk about a little bit of last week's astrology because we did have a few things that were significant that I kind of have to mention in this video. So, really, the first major one is Pluto going back into Capricorn. So, when I say that I have been waiting for this transit for years, studying astrology and looking at this milestone of Pluto going into Capricorn for the last time in our history is something that should not be underestimated. And we need to give it the space that it demands because it's loud astrology, it's significant astrology, it's life changing astrology. And we want to make it a point as astrologers to emphasize that. Like, this is something huge. And Pluto in Capricorn is wrapping up a 16-year cycle of transforming structure. And you're going to ask me what kind of structure, and that really has to do with anything that is governing you. Sovereignty means nothing governs you, you govern yourself. That's Aquarius. Capricorn represents any institution that can govern you. So, whenever we think about what are the changes that have happened, it's like, what have you done over the last 16 years to promote your autonomy, to promote your sovereignty? Whether it was serious, personal, or you just didn't like it. So this is like a lot of people starting their own businesses. You can't really put your tongue to it. This is the epitome of people starting businesses. You can't quite put your nose or finger on it, but there's a tone to, I want to be on my own. I don't want to be following rules or directed. So with Pluto going back into Capricorn, we're looking at the very last hit, the very last strike towards independence, towards us wanting to see new ways of being told what to do, and us wanting also equality and fairness with things that make sense, with things that are going to affect us on a day-to-day basis. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of intense turmoil over the next couple of months. Pluto's going to be in Capricorn until November 14, I believe, or 15. And that's going to be big deal energy. It's going to be the last battle, the last fight, not just for us, but for the weakness that be. We all know what that is. The weakness that be is going to be everybody who's in charge of the money. This formally has to do with businesses, with banks, with government. They have a say over us. And we're just kind of at the epitome of, we're not okay with this, right? We want to govern ourselves to some extent. And so we're going to see a lot of loud noise, especially politically. You're kidding me? This is going to be so hot with politics. Everybody is invested in American politics. America is having their Pluto return. So everything's culminating. And you know how they say boom goes the dynamite. Everything's coming into focus. And these next 2 months are going to feel like we're in the birth canal, like a contraction is happening for women who've given birth. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Or actually any woman who has cramps. Okay. You feel that contraction of like, holy shit, this is like tightening. And then you're like, I could breathe. Okay. So these next 2 months is a big ass contraction where we're like, oh my God. I think I'm at 9 centimeters. Okay. So raise your hand if you've had a baby. Okay. So it's gonna be intense, right? We have to, here's my thing for everybody. When the culture gets intense and the world gets intense, think of COVID. When things like this happen, we can't solve the problems of the world. We cannot make it stop. It's also not our karma. Really, you think God's gonna make us in charge of a whole ass humanity? No. The truth is, when things get really tight and concentrated, we can only focus on ourselves and focus on what we can control. And my reminder for you over the next 2 months is going to be exactly that. When things get crazy, when things get intense, when things feel like they're kind of like there's just the energy of the world is so high, you focus on, what do I need? I need healthy breakfast, go to the gym. I need to work on my karma, personal development. I need to work with an astrologer. I need to do this, do that. Those are the things that I need to do, because when I can better myself, then I can help somebody else. Until then, I can't. I have to put on the safe jacket on myself. So it's a reminder to um be in that space and mindset. Okay, so Pluto, let me look at my cute little note. I had them all done for last week. And I think that was it. Or else I'm just gonna start making a 7-hour video. So on Monday, we're gonna have the Virgo new moon. She's not cute. And if you're in my Cosmic Alchemy Academy, we talked about it. We talked all about it. Cosmic Alchemy Academy is where I have a private group session where I mentor everybody. So if you're interested in that, go to my website. But we talked about how this new moon is dual-sided, and she's tricky too. She's dual-sided because if you're actively working on your karma, you're going to be okay. If you're not actively working on your karma, it's going to feel so annoying. It's like going to be the responsibility that, why is that? Because she's opposing Saturn and she comes in with work. And I actually said that this new moon reminds us that we're here to work. And, this lifetime isn't just about having fun. It's not just about like being a free bird. No, we came here for refinement. And this new moon says, okay, you can have it if you plan it and commit to it. Wah, wah, wah. That's not cute. That's not exciting. It's just kind of like, okay, well, it's like a lifestyle change. I'm going to have to stop eating burgers. I'm going to have to start going to the gym, like basic stuff that marks you as an adult. Also, like reality checks, like I'm 30, I'm 40 now, right? I can't do things that I was doing when I was 19 or 20. Not that I'm trying to be ageist, but, sometimes there's shifts and changes that happen and we have to adjust to them. Oh my God, now I have to start taking this supplement. We can handle it, but it's going to be one of those new moons where it's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll take out the trash. Versus like other new moons where they're so fun and inspiring. Maybe like the Sagittarius moon, where it's like, let's go do something. The Leo moon, it's so fun. The Virgo moon is like, bitch, where's your plan? Go organize something, Hope. Okay, bye. All right. So Tuesday's astrology, we're going to still have the moon in Virgo, and she's going to be doing a healthy square to Saturn still. Okay, so we're not free to go. As a matter of fact, we're also going to have Mars square Neptune this day, and this is a very high agitation day. High agitation. Because what happens on this day is we get discouraged. Neptune kind of comes in and is like, you for real though? Neptune is the great dissolver. So it will throw water at your plans, regardless of like you finding success or not. Tuesday is a day where Mars, your motivations, your mindset, your strong as mindset, I could do it, just kind of gets washed away by Neptune. It's like, are you sure about that? You forget this big old monster, like you're not that strong. You have to still work through it. So it's kind of a downer. I'm gonna be laying low that day. I'm gonna be checking out that day. I'm gonna be relaxing and working on mental health, because actually that's what this day promotes. It's like work on your mental health. What's the purpose of it though? Like honestly, what is the purpose of Mars squaring Neptune? And the true purpose of this is Mars in Gemini has ideas. It has, I want to do all these things, right? And the Neptune in Pisces comes in and says, well, what is keeping you from doing that? Like, first, if you want to do this idea, we need to tackle the boogeyman inside here that says that's not possible. Because if you continue having this program of this boogeyman here that says that's scary, you're not going to do this idea. So you have to work through those fears. You have to troubleshoot them. That's the purpose of it. Okay. But doesn't negate that it's going to be a downer. It's like, okay, I guess. I kind of forgot to mention this, but on September 3rd, we're going to have Venus conjunct the South Node. And this is going to build up an energy of missing other people, missing the toxic other person. This week is so susceptible to being uncomfortable to the point where you reach out to comforts of the past. And I really want to ring the alarm on that. I'm going to make so much more content around this. But the 3rd is the day. It should close your windows on the 3rd. What is this day? Tuesday? It's a lot of, oh my God, I'm suffering because XYZ is not in my life. I'm in this struggle because, Steven can't get his shit together just to be with me, So we really want to be mindful queens this week. Mindful queens, demure queens, okay? On Wednesday, we're going to have the moon oppose Neptune. So we have a little bit of this energy of Tuesday trickling over. And then we're also going to have Mars enter Cancer, which this energy is so much about. First is self-care. First, it's your emotional needs. Then you do. Mars in Cancer is very conditional towards how it feels, how nurtured it feels, how cared for it needs, if its needs are met. So this will actually 4-week journey. Mars in Cancer is going to start a 4-week journey of us taking care of ourselves, of bringing nurture to be the number one thing that we put focus on, and how listening to ourselves always leads to empowered psychic skills. When we can listen to ourselves, we practice our psychic abilities and they inherently get better. I need to stop moving the mic. I'm sorry. They inherently get better when we sharpen our intuition and trust our feelings. Then everything starts to change after that. I always like to say that mastering your emotions is level one of building your psychic gifts. Nothing can build if you don't have that solidification of your emotional regulation. Thursday, the moon is going to go into Libra, and she's kind of quiet this day. This day, astrologically, September 5th, is kind of quiet. But I'm still not going to go as far as to say it's going to be a cute, cozy quiet. Because the truth of the matter is the moon is going to be in Libra. And while, yes, she promotes harmony and grace and patience, she's going to still be aspecting the South Node. The South Node is currently in Libra. And so this week has the red flag. I'm giving this week a red flag. And the red flag is the potential to text an ex. Text an ex. What should we name this red flag? Text an ex. I kind of forgot to mention this, but on September 3rd, we're going to have Venus conjunct the South Node. And this is going to build up an energy of missing other people, missing the toxic other person. This week is so susceptible to being uncomfortable to the point where you reach out to comforts of the past. And I really want to ring the alarm on that. I'm going to make so much more content around this. But the 3rd is the day. It should close your windows on the 3rd. What is this day? Tuesday? It's a lot of, oh my God, I'm suffering because XYZ is not in my life. I'm in this struggle because, Steven can't get his shit together just to be with me. So we really want to be mindful queens this week. Mindful queens, demure queens, okay? Because the astrology is very testy. So come Thursday, you either sent the text or you didn't. I'm looking at you. You either sent the text or you didn't. And please don't, because it's not worth it. It's a test. It's a karmic test. It's like, okay, are you going to grow or are you going to go back to the comforts? Are you going to grow or are you going to go back to the comforts? So I'm looking at all you South Node and Libra people. That's what I'm primarily looking at. So yeah, you're going to be looking at other people's weekly horoscopes if you do. And they're going to be like, oh, this day's great. I'm like, not really. No. Karmically, no. Karmically, it's sticky. September 6th on Friday, the moon is still going to be in Libra. Mercury is going to square Uranus. And this talks about desperate for solutions. I'm desperate for solutions. When Mercury squares Uranus, it's like banging your head on the wall. Like, what am I not thinking? What is the solution that I'm not seeing? It's frustration over trying to solve your mind. Now, she's in Mercury is in Leo. Wait, hold on. Yeah, Mercury is in Leo and Uranus is in Taurus. So to me, this has to do with luxuries of life and money. Even though Leo isn't so much about money, but it's kind of like, I want these nice things and I want this status. I want this power. I want this regal experience and I'm not getting it. And that comes from usually lack of money. So it's this like, feeling of I want to be in a better place and a better space and it's just not here yet. Okay. This happens 4 times a year. We work through it. We just need to come into clever solutions, clever ideas, set out the intentions to the universe. We really need to talk to Uranus here and say, okay, I'm willing to do the work in Taurus. What do I need to do to solidify a regal experience in my everyday life? Do a Uranus meditation. By nighttime, the moon is going to go into Scorpio. She's cute. She's cute because she's going to give us space to let out all these frustrations. So if you're in a partnership, well, good for you. Because you can roll around the sheets and do whatever you need. And if you're not, you can still do that actually. But don't be going out to text that other person to roll on the sheets just because I said that you need to roll around the sheets. Don't be texting that ex. That's not what I meant. What I meant is you can roll around with yourself or roll around with whatever to let out some energy. Or you could just go to the gym and strength train. Or what else? Research. Naughty stuff. Not that kind of naughty stuff. Actually, like research occult stuff. Alchemy. That's also fun. Letting out energy. Okay. So come Saturday, September. I'm telling you guys, this week is crazy. Come Saturday, September 7th, we're gonna have the sun opposed Saturn. This is what am I thinking of? I'm thinking of banging your head on metal. I'm just kidding. Sun opposed Saturn feels like a lot of restriction. I can't be myself. I have so much fear around who I want to become. I have a lot of doubt. I have a lot of sadness around my goals and myself. And it just feels impossible. It feels that everything I need to do is just an impossible thing. So we got to get Saturday and just throw it in the trash too. No, the purpose of Saturday is to say, okay, this is why I need to do self-care. Mars in Cancer that happened on Wednesday is when it starts to bring this idea like you need rest and recovery because you're stressed out and you feel like you can't do as much as you would want to do. So rest and relaxation. And I think that comes in really hard with on Sunday, the moon is still going to be in Scorpio. The moon is still going to be in Scorpio. However, Mercury is going to re-enter Virgo. So by Sunday, by Sunday the 8th of September, we're going to feel more acclimated care routine. Like, this is why I need to just take it easy. And the number one thing you need to be planning is your self-care routine. Okay, if you're watching this video, you need to bring into priority healthy eating, healthy sleeping, healthy mindset. This is like the core things you need for your biorhythm. Okay. So, number one, healthy eating, healthy sleeping, healthy mindset. What is this? Mind, body, and soul? Oh my God, look at me. I'm going to host a wellness retreat. So you guys, I think that this week we need to be very patient with ourselves and patient with other people around us, because it's going to be just a lot of uncomfortable energy for the most part. The goal of this week is to remind you why you need to surrender and sacrifice, because who's in charge? Who's in charge? Saturn is in charge, and Saturn is in Pisces. And we're getting so much opposition and contrast to Saturn and Pisces because the sun is in Virgo. The sun is in the opposite side. So the whole heavens is trying to do things despite Saturn. And this is Saturn saying, bitch, you think? No, absolutely not. So it's an uncomfortable week because we're trying to go against Saturn. Whereas if we are working with him, things just kind of go well, or just not calm. Okay. And we're going to realize that on the Sunday, the 8th, where it's like, oh, this whole time I just needed to work with Saturn and be patient and surrender and go with the flow and build my psychic abilities, tend to my emotions. Like, I'm a doula of feelings. And I get it now, right? But that's kind of a little bit hard to do when the sun is in Virgo and saying, bitch, plan, 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 routine, routine, time, time, time. And you want to appease both sides. And at sometimes you can't, but you can when you hijack and say, I'm going to plan my self-care. I'm going to plan my sacrifice. I'm going to plan my self-service, like my servitude. I'm going to plan how I could surrender to the universe. And you plan that by, okay, I'm going to wake up and do a meditation. I'm going to wake up and do a cleanse. And then I'm going to do affirmations. Like, your whole day revolves around spiritual aspects. That's what's going to help. Okay. All right, friends. I do private readings for those of you who are interested in getting a private reading. You can go to my website to book me privately on Zoom. I also have pause Daisy edit. You can also purchase my ebooks. I have several on my website. One of them is called Working with the Moon, which is my new favorite. She is 60% off. The purpose of that ebook is to work through emotions in accordance to where the moon sign is every single day. And that is my first tool that I give to my entrepreneurs and millionaires that join my mentorship. That's the first thing I give them. And this is also the first step you need to work on your psychic abilities. Second thing you can get is my karmic patterns report. This is anybody who's interested in their astrology and doesn't quite know how to approach it. This karmic patterns report will break down all of your karma and what you're here to work through in this lifetime and in past lives too. So you feel free to go to my website to see all my goodies. And I do TikTok live streams every single day, Monday through Friday, starting 6 p.m. PST. So if you want to talk to me and get a quick mini reading, you're absolutely encouraged to go to my TikTok live stream and join the list when I'm on. You could do tarot reading, astrology reading, both, or a synastry reading with you and somebody else. I love you guys so much. Saturn is my favorite planet, and that's because he rules over time. And that is what you guys have given me today. So thank you so much for your time, for your efforts in watching the video, for commenting, liking, and sharing. And if it helped you, please drop a comment down below, because that helps me help you more. Bye, friends.